We can tell when you use ChatGPT for your resume.
So what?
Let me ask you something. Since when did we decide that how a resume is written matters more than what it says? Since when did hiring managers become literally critics? In 2025, we are living in a world where, artificial intelligence is used by employers to filter resumes, screen candidates, and even conduct interviews. But somehow, if a job seeker uses ChatGPT to clean up a resume, it's considered cheating. We've got we've got companies bragging about their automated hiring pipelines, their fancy AI recruiters, and their predictive analytics. But when an applicant turns to ChatGPT to format their work history or clarify their skills, suddenly it's a red flag. Suddenly it's dishonest. And that's not just unfair, it's delusional. Because here's the thing, people are desperate. People are, hungry. Some have been out of work for months, some even years. And you think the biggest issue is whether they used a long M dash?
We can tell when you use ChatGPT for your resume. One of the biggest indicators is that long M dash that comes from ChatGPT. Be a little bit more clever about it.
Why does it matter? You want my resume to be clear, concise. You want all of the information. Why does it matter? I can do the work because the resume says so. I'm obviously able to use resources available to me because I was able to use ChatGPT. Why does it matter if I use ChatGPT or not? Maybe I can't spell very well. Maybe I wanted ChatGPT to put it in chronological order. ChatGPT did not make up my work history. This is my work history. I did not have ChatGPT make it up. I just had ChatGPT make it so that you would read it. Why does if I use ChatGPT matter?
What is so annoying about her statement is the fact that they're using AI to even shift through the resumes. You know what I mean? Like, they are using AI to do interviews. Sometimes in some of these companies, you're not even interviewing with a human. You're literally interviewing to a camera. They're using AI to respond to you even getting the job offer or not getting the job offer. My teacher uses AI to respond to our class assignments, and it has a dash, and all of her responses are the same. Like, AI is what it is. They created AI, but then they want to get mad because people are using it. Since when have you gotten to know anyone's personality through a resume to begin with? Because that's another thing she said in her full video. I didn't know you could get to know anybody through a resume. Ugh.
Yet meanwhile, you guys can use all the AI, all the systems to ghost people anyways. Hey, rewrite your resume, rewrite cover letters everywhere. For what? To be ghosted anyways. Let me use ChatGPT how I want.
Like, I seen in her comment section that she trying to justify this by saying that they want to see your personality or some bullshit like that. You're not seeing nobody's personality through a resume. Do you know resumes started being used in the 1930s? This is 2025. You have people that are out here hungry, starving, been searching for jobs for months, some over a year. And your justification for not giving somebody an interview where you can actually see their personality, you can bring them in and get to know them, is because of the way they use to write their resume. Do you know most people hire somebody to write their resume, or they use resume templates that they find online? So you are not getting someone's personality through a resume. If you look at their resume and you see, okay, they did 4 years in college, they did another 2, 3, 4 years to get their master's. They got, umpteen certifications to back their knowledge. Bring them in and get to know them and interview them and you could see their personality. This is what's wrong. Y'all using outdated systems to figure out whether or not you want to hire somebody for a job that they are most likely overqualified for. Like, miss me with the bullshit.
This system we are clinging to, it's outdated. Resumes have been there since 1930s. We're in a time of extreme technological advancement. AI is everywhere, but we are still using a tool from the Great Depression to screen talent. And we are shocked when that tool doesn't give use the full picture. Let's be real. A resume is not a diary. It's not a confession. It's a, brochure. It's meant to highlight the best parts of a candidate's experience in a clear, organized way. That's it. Nobody is asking for a personality quiz in a bullet point form. Employers say they want authenticity, but what they really asking for is conformity. They don't want resumes that are too polished or too perfect because it might indicate that someone had help, or worse, that they used AI. But here's the thing. Many applicants already pay for professional resume services. Some use, templates. Others have mentors who help craft their applications. So why is it suddenly disqualifying when that help comes from a free AI tool? And more importantly, why are we pretending it tells us anything about the person applying? Let's stop pretending that we can see someone's soul through a PDF. If personality is what matters, bring them in, talk to them, interview them. You'll learn more in a 5-minute conversation than in 5 hours of resume reading. But that requires effort. That requires dropping the gatekeeping and doing the work of actually seeing people beyond the paper. Because right now, the people getting filtered out, they are not unqualified. They are not fakes. They are overqualified. They've got college degrees, master's degrees, certifications, and they are not even getting, callbacks. Not because they can't do the job, but because their resume looked too AI generated. You can't use AI to judge people and then get angry when they use AI to represent themselves. That's not a fair, playing field. That's a double standard. We need to talk about what a resume really is in today's market. Because for all the smoke and mirrors, the resume has one job: get you into the interview. That's it. It's not about, showcasing your charm. It's not a loyalty test. It's a summary, a tool for getting past the gatekeeper and into the room. That's it. And yet, the system has twisted that purpose. Instead of helping employers find the best match, it has become a weapon for, exclusion. A trapdoor that drops qualified candidates straight into the void of formatting quacks or, suspected AI involvement. How does that make sense? In theory, a resume is supposed to reflect your experience, but most people don't even write their own, anymore. And not because they are lazy, but because the expectations have become ridiculously high. You're expected to be a graphic designer, a copywriter, and a psychologist all at once, just to get past a machine that's scanning for, keywords. Now, let's not forget companies are using AI on their side. Resume bots scan thousands of documents, flag, preferred language, and even evaluate tone. Some AI programs now conduct first round interviews using, facial recognition. We've normalized that. But let a candidate use ChatGPT to make their resume readable. Suddenly, it's, unethical. You can't even have it both ways. If an employer is serious about hiring the person, they should be looking at the, substance. Do you have the skill, the experience, the track record? That's what matters, not whether you know how to use, aim dashes correctly or how many syllables your bullet points have. And the thing is, people aren't using AI to lie. They are using it to organize, to edit, to make their language clear. In a job market, this is competitive. Why wouldn't someone use every tool available to give themselves a shot, especially when the system is already, stacked against them? We say we value innovation. We say we value, adaptability. But when someone uses a smart tool like, ChatGPT to improve their application, we treat it like cheating. That tells me we don't really care about creativity. We care about control. We want candidates to follow the rules, even if those rules are designed to keep them out. And again, let's be real. You can't learn someone's personality from a resume. You can't gauge their work ethic from a bullet point. Now that is the work of an interview. That's where you hear their story, you understand their goals and see their, potential. The resume just gets them to that point. So why are we still hung up on format over function? Why are we letting AI gatekeepers decide who deserves to be, to be seen, while denying candidates the same tools to fight back? This is about more than resumes. This is about who gets to be seen, who gets to be heard, and who gets a shot at opportunity. This is about the silent discrimination embedded in our hiring systems and the dangerous myths we continue to believe about fairness and meritocracy. Well, let's not pretend that resume rejection is neutral. It's a decision to turn someone away without ever speaking to them. It's a choice to filter people based on, style, not substance. And let's face it, those filters, they disproportionately hurt people who are already fighting uphill. The unemployed, the underestimated, the overqualified. Here's the truth. Talent doesn't always come with, a neatly formatted header. Drive doesn't always show up in, 11-point format. And potential doesn't fit inside a one-page summary. But we keep expecting it to work. We keep expecting applicants to fit into these tiny, perfect boxes. And we wonder why our workplaces lack innovation, diversity, and resilience. People are adapting to, survive. That includes using tools like ChatGPT. That includes looking for ways to stand out in a system that doesn't want them to be seen. And what do they get in return? Accusations of dishonesty, rejection letters, silence. But let me flip the script. What if using ChatGPT to craft a resume isn't a weakness, but a strength? What if it shows, resourcefulness, strategic thinking, the ability to use modern tools effectively? Isn't that what every employer says they want? We reward efficiency, but penalize the tools that create it. We demand perfection, but reject the technology that helps people reach it. If someone uses ChatGPT to make their resume clearer, sharper, more professional, shouldn't that be a plus? This obsession with resume authenticity is a smokescreen because behind it is fear. Fear that AI is leveling the playfield. Fear that people who once couldn't afford career coaches or elite writing services can now access the same quality for free. Fear that the gatekeepers are losing control. Let's be clear. AI didn't invent the idea of resume polishing. It was, programmed. It was us who did that. And the same people who programmed that are the ones who, are terrified because now qualification are, are front and center and bias has less room to hide. Imagine a world where we stop polishing how people present their work and start paying attention to what they've actually done, where hiring is about alignment, not aesthetics, where every candidate, no matter their, background, gets a fair chance to be seen. It's time to dismantle this illusion that AI makes a resume less authentic. The truth is, it often makes them more honest, more focused, more readable, more aligned with job requirements. It strips away the fluff and leaves what matters, the work. And yes, some people will use it badly. Some will lie. But guess what? People have always lied on resumes. AI or not, the difference is AI makes it easier to present the truth well. That should be, celebrated, not punished. We need to think how we define readiness, professionalism, and capability. If someone shows the initiative to use a tool like ChatGPT to improve their odds in a deeply flawed system, that's not cheating. That's strategy. That's modern job hunting. That's survival. So here's the challenge to employers, to hiring managers, to gatekeepers. Stop pretending you can see a candidate's worth in a resume font. Stop equating perfect writing with dishonesty. Stop looking deeper. Start asking, do they have skills? Do they have the hunger? Are they willing to adapt? Because in 2025, the best candidates won't be the ones who play by outdated rules. They'll be the ones who know the rules are broken and still find a way to rise. Let's stop punishing people for being, resourceful. Let's start hiring for what matters. Yeah, guys, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.